Issue 2 would impact the threshold of votes needed to pass citizen-initiated ballot issues, constitutional amendments proposed by the legislature, and state laws proposed by citizen groups in the state of Arkansas. It would change the Arkansas Constitution and would change how citizen democracy would work in future issue elections.
Once ideas get to the ballot, it would take 60% of voters, so a supermajority approval, rather than just 50%. So that's really the major difference. Is the legislature wants to make things set a little bit higher threshold for the kinds of measures that come from the public.
Right now, if an issue is put on the ballot and more than 50% of voters approve it, that ballot issue becomes law. Issue 2 would raise that limit to 60% of the vote to become law. Between 2000 and 2020, 40 issues have been put on ballots. 30 of those have passed, but only 18 of those passed with more than 60% of the vote. Here are some big issues that would have missed the mark. In 2018, Issue 4, which gave several counties the ability to open casinos, passed with only 54% of the vote. In 2016, Issue 6 passed, allowing the use of medical marijuana in Arkansas. That passed with only 53% of the vote. Dr. Janine Perry with the U of A says this ballot initiative could be part of a larger pattern.
It'd be pretty disingenuous, I think, to argue that this wasn't partly an ideological battle between a very conservative legislature and some, fairly liberal measures coming from the public.
If it's approved, Issue 2 would take effect January 1st of 2023 for the next statewide election in 2024. In the studio, Emma Claybrook, 4029 News.